All right, welcome, all you lovely people. I hope y'all are having an amazing night. I know it's kind of late for a podcast out here, and I know most people probably aren't listening at this very time. But let's be honest, nobody's listening right now. I'm just getting started, and I'm basically speaking to myself. That's okay. The reason I came on here tonight is because I actually received a message from my dad today that kind of made me sad. It was essentially a text from what I like to believe was a student, because the way the grammar and the format was, it didn't make me think of a teacher. It didn't remind me of a teacher, or the way a teacher would address this problem. But someone texted my father and told him that I had basically been speaking too much about God in school, and that the fact that I may have said something about the fact that I'm turning from Catholicism, because I believe that's a religion. Religion and man-made things are bad, from more of spirituality and the fact that I like to pick and choose knowledge, because I think you can get knowledge from anywhere, any book, any Bible, any book of quote-unquote wisdom. You can get knowledge out of it, but you can also get a lot of negativity out of it. And I think that's why people are pushed away from religion, because they tend to see more the negativity than the knowledge. But I like to look at a religion, take whatever knowledge I can get out of it, and just ignore whatever negativity it has. Because I think that's what God would have wanted, unity under one. But I come out to say this because it just makes me sad. It makes me a little sad to know that I made someone uncomfortable, and I made them uncomfortable with my words, and I'm messing with people's productivity in school because I'm making people uncomfortable. If this person, or if anybody who has ever felt uncomfortable within school, or is even feeling uncomfortable with some of the things I say, I want you to know that I never want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. That I want to try my hardest to make everybody feel happy in their best life. But I'm going to give my honest opinion in what I truly believe. And if you're not ready to hear that, if you don't want to hear that, that's okay. Like, just turn off the video and move on. And I promise, if that person that did send my dad this text, I promise I will try my hardest to try to keep these kind of talks out of school, because I understand that it can, mess with your productivity and, just your overall learning. And I don't want to do that to anybody, stop anybody's growth. But I want you to understand, if I ever do go into school or something like that, if I'm ever talking to anybody, feel free to and welcome to express your anxieties or express your fears, or tell me what you think sounds so wrong from what I'm saying. Because I wouldn't see it as negativity. I wouldn't see it as you trying to bring me down. I think that's just simply you finding plot holes in my argument, and it gives me a better opportunity to try to strengthen my argument. But or my ideas on what I think God is. But that's the whole point of this podcast is I want to bring people on here, and I want to ask them about their opinion, tell them about my opinion, and if they have questions or they see issues with my opinion, I want them to ask those questions. That way I can try to answer them with them or within myself. And if I can't answer them, then I'm going to tell you honestly, man, like, I don't know. Like, I'll pray on that and I'll see if I can get an answer to that, but I don't know. And I'm just sorry that I made anybody feel uncomfortable. And if that person is listening, I hope that you're willing to share your anxieties with me, and I'm willing to talk them out with you, and we can find some sort of middle ground. But I just say this because if I ever go into school or anything, that's just because I love the idea of God being nothing but love, hope, and peace. And this is why I love to spread that idea onto others, because I think that's what most Bibles try to get at, or most Bibles try to tell us, but they all kind of suck at it, because I think they've all been man-written, to be honest. The majority of them have been written by a man. And I think this is like one of the first steps to fix it. The fact that you can't have one's perspective, or the perspective of one sex, to make the quote-unquote perfect book. I can't. I'm telling you myself that I will never be able to, make a great book like the Bible. But I think that if, a man and a woman, or if a bunch of people, let's say 2,000 people, just kept collectively bouncing ideas off of each other, and didn't do it to bring each other down, but to grow each other up, and 1,000 of these people were men and 1,000 of these people were women, I think that's balance right there. I think that you have a perfect perspective, and you have enough people to get a good amount of perspectives on that. And I think it'd be even cooler, we can introduce it to more people, and you can just get more people and more people and more people to give their opinion on stuff. I think that we live in a society where people are so scared to be opinionated out of fear of being shut down socially that that's what they do. I think it's important. Like me, I'm very opinionated, and I'm very much a social creature. And I know it's one of my biggest downfalls because I like this whole point of this video is the fact that I make someone uncomfortable because I am opinionated and I am a very outspoken creature, a social creature. But I like to believe that if I learn how to balance my life and learn when to be opinionated and learn when not to, then that's whenever I can reach my inner peace. And I have to learn how to ask less questions at school, speak out less at school, talk about God less or religion or philosophy, and that's why I want to start this podcast, so I can do it here instead of at school. But if I ever, do just feel like starting a podcast video at school because I have somebody there that I wouldn't usually have or it doesn't have time any other time, and I pull them over to the side and have like a conversation with them, or a podcast, and what I'm saying makes you feel bad, you can let me know, and I'll try to go somewhere where you won't hear me because I don't want you to listen to something I have to say if it makes you feel bad. But look at what or why it's making you feel bad, and then once you know that, then come express that to me, and I'll have a conversation about that, and I'll try to, because I think that criticism is important, and that I'm never going to be the perfect creature unless I receive the criticism of the Lord. Which is impossible because you're never going to, but nobody is ever going to receive the criticism of the Lord besides, Jesus Christ. That's our Lord and Savior. But I think that criticism is so important, and it's the fact that, I essentially know about as much as everybody here. Nobody knows more than me. I got confused there. Nobody knows, let me see. Nobody knows, or I don't know more than anybody, but at the same time, I have, somebody knows something that I don't. There we go, that's the best way to put it. Somebody knows something that I don't know, but I also know something that somebody doesn't know. This is my ideal mindset, the fact that if you're willing to accept the fact that everybody knows something that you don't, that you can learn from everybody. And that if you're willing to accept the fact that you know something that everybody doesn't, that you can always teach somebody something. But you also have to learn that not everybody wants to be taught from you. Some people have to grow on their own. Some people have to do a bit of living. Some people just have to go out there and experience life before they can, take your wisdom. It's like your mother could tell you to do something 1,000,000 times, and you continue to do it, right? And then the time that you get in trouble, like your mom tells you to speed all the time. Never speed, never speed, never speed, right? And you've always been speeder. You never cared about the speed limit. You've always just been a heavy-footed guy. And the day that you get pulled over, it's like, now you know better than to speed. Now you got to deal with paying that ticket. Now you don't ever want to play with that ticket again because it's a hefty ticket. I would know. I have been in that situation before. But it's like, now you know better. But if you would have listened to your mom from the beginning, you wouldn't have been in that situation. But of course, it's human nature to not want to listen to control. So you're going to naturally seek out there and do whatever you want to do. But I think that it's important to break from this nature. Instead of not wanting to be controlled, why not ask, why are they trying to control me? Because I think that the beautiful thing that God gave humans that he didn't give any other animal is our cognitive ability. The fact that I can sit here and alliterate my words and speak and, essentially sound smart without being smart is beautiful. Because it's like, humans can think about every action, and humans can train their mind to think 10 moves ahead. Chess players do it all the time. It's like if you think about life every single way this way, and you only try to send positivity out to the universe, you're going to do your best at doing that, and that's all you can do. But I lost my train of thought going off on that. But I say this to say that if you ever hear something that I don't like, and trust me, I won't just come out here and give my most just left-wing thoughts or most unacceptable. I'll give them eventually. I'll work my way up to them. But these are the thoughts that I think society views us as negatively, and that they would essentially, you know, not accept me for. They would view me as something bad because of, you know, because of, how do I put it? But yeah, I'll just move on past that since I can't figure out how to. Just know that I feel like I have opinions that, a lot of people wouldn't agree with, and I want to work my way up to getting to those opinions. But first, I want to start with the opinions that I feel like a majority of people can't agree with. And yeah, I just come out here to say that if you are that person that did text my dad, I'm sorry I made you feel uncomfortable, and I'm sorry that I made you. Sorry, I just got a text from one of my friends, Manny, and I've been inviting people to come onto this podcast, so I want to get as many people's thoughts and minds on my questions, and get as many people's stories out there, because I think that's what's important. But yeah, he told me that he'd be down to do it. I think next year we take a local trip with my coach, Coach Newcomer, or we're starting to do this local trip thing, and I asked his brother the same thing, which I thought was kind of funny. If he wanted to be on the podcast, and he told me the exact same thing, maybe next summer trip. So shows brothers do think alike. But back to what I was saying, I don't ever want to make anybody feel uncomfortable, and I definitely have some opinionated thoughts that a large portion of people wouldn't agree with. That's why I want to work my way up to them, take my time to get there. But I think that if anything I ever say truly does make you upset to the point that you want to inflict harm either upon yourself or others, just turn off my video. Like, I don't want you to do that. I really don't. And if you want to hurt somebody, please personally hit me up, and I may just let you hurt me. I essentially won't let you just kill me or murder me, because that's the end of the line. That's the end of the story. But if you want to beat me up a little bit, I'll let you beat me up a little bit, because sometimes people need somebody to beat up. But yeah, please, if you definitely feel like you need to beat somebody up because you're listening to something that I'm saying, just turn it off. Just turn it off and forget about it. Try not to think about it. And if it keeps coming up through your head, and you keep thinking about it, then think about it and try to think about why what I said offended you. Then reach out to me. I have a personal email for this account. It's jesusandpals@gmail.com, I think. I'll have to double check that, and that will reinforce that. But it's like, yeah, if you legit have some sort of issue with something I said, or you're just, it's just stuck on your head, and, it's just a question or a conversation that you want to have with me that just pisses you off that you can't have it with me, then hit up that email, and hit me up with, I'll hit you up with a code or something like that, and I'll get you on here and I'll talk to you, because that's the whole point of this podcast, to get everybody's voice and voice heard. I want everybody to be able to speak their mind and tell me what they're thinking, what their anxieties are, what their fears are, why some of the things I say may scare them, and how I can try to put them at ease, or how I can reword some of the things that I mean, because sometimes it's not necessarily that I'm giving off the wrong meaning, it's that I have the wrong word. But yeah, either way, I'll go ahead and let y'all go. Hope y'all have a great night. Love y'all. Stay blessed. Love, hope, and peace. Peace.